Alright, let's dive into this week's Japanese animation TV rankings for July 20th to 26th, 2026, and unpack what's really fascinating and a little surprising about these numbers. First off, The Hook, Saesi-san is still number 1 with a 7.5 rating? Seriously? That show's been around since the Stone Age, 1969, and yet it's still crushing the competition. What does that say about Japanese TV audiences? Are they nostalgic, resistant to change, or just loyal to the classics? Personally, I think it's a mix of all three. But let's not jump to conclusions yet. Looking at the data, Detective Conan and Chibi Maruko-chan hold steady in the top tier. These are legacy titles that VE dominated for years. But here's the thing, while they're reliable, they're not exactly drawing in new viewers. The average age of their audience? Probably older than my grandma's recipe book. Meanwhile, newer series like That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 3 only managed a 2.9. Is that a failure? Not necessarily. From my perspective, it reflects a shift in how anime is consumed. Streaming platforms might be siphoning off younger audiences who skip live TV entirely. These ratings don't account for delayed viewing, which could mean the real story is hidden in the data gaps. One detail I find fascinating? The Elusive Samurai Season 2 at 2.2. That show's got a cult following, but it's not breaking into the mainstream. Why? Maybe it's darker, more niche themes don't resonate with casual viewers. Compare that to Star Detective Precure. At 2.0. Even in the bottom half, it's holding steady as a kid-friendly staple. What this really suggests is that anime still relies on specific demographics, kids for daytime slots, older fans for late-night reruns. And let's be honest, the 30-minute block at 11:30 p.m. isn't exactly prime time for the average Japanese household. But here's the deeper question, why do these ratings even matter anymore? The source notes they're based on Kanto region households, excluding streaming and recordings. In 2026, that feels like measuring a smartphone's success by its rotary dial. The rise of Crunchyroll and Netflix has fractured viewership. Shows like Blue Reflection Quartet, reviewed this week, might be thriving in digital spaces, but they're invisible here. This ranking tells us less about anime's future and more about TV's stubborn grip on tradition. Let me throw another angle at you, the timing. Demon Slayer reruns scored 2.1, proving its brand power is bulletproof. But why is it airing at 9:30 a.m. on a Sunday? That's a graveyard slot for action anime. Maybe it's a filler for parents wanting to pacify their kids before soccer practice. Meanwhile, Oshiri Tanti at 0.4? A niche kids comedy that's probably better on a streaming list. The takeaway? TV ratings are a snapshot, not the full picture. They're like judging a book by its library sticker. So, what's next? Will Saesi-san ever fall? Maybe when its protagonist finally gets that promotion she's been chasing for 50 years. But more seriously, the bigger trend is the split between traditional TV and digital consumption. If you take a step back, the rankings aren't just numbers, they're a tug-of-war between legacy and innovation. And honestly, that's what makes this topic so rich for analysis. What do you think? Are these ratings still relevant, or are we watching the last gasp of an old metric? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you're as obsessed with anime data as I am.